Hello, this is Mr. Valencia, and welcome back for the Linda Luebke Festival Intermediate Orchestra third video. I'm excited to see that you guys are participating a little bit, and I still want to get to know each other a little bit more. So we're going to do a couple things first. First, I'll reintroduce you to my babies. My babies were uh, Schroeder and Barclay. Schroeder is the little white, sort of a little mix of what do I want to say, terrier and maybe poodle. Not sure. That's what the vet thinks. And then Barclay was a mixture of cocker, and pretty much also we're certain it was probably poodle as well. We don't know for sure, but oh well. Anyway, so some of you sent in some pictures of your fur babies or fur brothers and sisters. And here we have a couple dogs that belong to the same family, and I won't say who they came from. And then we also have a picture of a cat. And so, hey, if any of you out there who haven't sent in a picture of your pet, go ahead and do that. Give us a little information about your pet's name and stuff like that. That'd be really kind of cool.
Hello. Right now, let's talk a little bit about how to play loudly or quietly on your instrument. I will mainly demonstrate on violin, but it does apply also to cellos and basses and violas. Okay, watch what I do with my bow. And I'm going to play a certain way. And then I wonder if you can tell me what I should do to play louder. I'm going to play quiet to start. All right, did you see what I was doing with my bow? What are the things that I did with my bow? What's one thing? There are three things we do with our bow to make us play louder and quieter. The first thing that most people think about is how heavy we press. So you might have told me first to start pressing really hard. Let the weight of the bow really fall into the string. And I'm going to ask you if you like this quality of sound. It's all about the tone quality. I think that's enough. I don't think I can do any more because I bet it sounds horrible, right? But yeah, that was me playing with a lot of weight into the string. The bow is like pressing into the string. But maybe you might say, well, you have to do something different. Imagine, if you would please, that this lane, this is a bowing lane, kind of like we might have a highway with 5 lanes on it. And your parents kind of like need to stay in a lane. You need to stay in a lane with your bow while you're driving your bow. All right. And so we're going to try to figure out where a good middle part of the lane is. I'm going to get really close. I can't really play here because the microphone will pick up really a lot of it will sound awful. But if I put my bow here in the middle, I'll be able to put a little bit more pressure. Here's where I was before and putting pressure, and you heard how crunchy the sound was. That was pretty gross. Let's come back here. In the middle, I can do this and go a little stronger. Doesn't that sound better? Now, what I want to do is like play as super loud as possible. Really big. I'm going to like get closer to the bridge, and that's going to be my really loud spot. I'm going to stay there too as I go all the way to the tip of the bow. And I'm going to go back here. I might start actually kind of like in the middle third of the bow so that you get good bow control. Start there and go. Does that sound a lot louder? There was a little scratchy in there too. Let me try it one more time because I want to listen to the quality of sound. Still working on it. All right. I will forever be working on making better sound, as all of my friends who play their instruments do. They work all the time to play better. Hey, so now if you're on cello, you might you might have a hard time seeing from your angle where to put the bow, but this might be a mezzo forte, and then a little bit closer to the bridge gets you louder, and a little bit closer to the bridge gets you really loud. All right. So and then I forgot. Sorry. And then if I really want to complete this, let's bring it up a little bit for quieter and back for even up more for very quiet. Yeah. Now, here's one thing. I'm going to tilt my bow towards the scroll. And if you look closely, you'll see that maybe not all of my hair is touching the string. Maybe just a few important hairs are. When I'm playing quietly, I only want a little bit of hair and a little bit of pressure on the string, and I want my bow to be closer to the fingerboard. You do that, you're going to be really, really impressive for your teacher, right? For the violin, it looks like this. I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to go there, but I'm going to tilt the bow. Also, I'm going to tilt the stick of the bow away from me towards the scroll. And then I will be able to smoothly and lightly play these notes. All right. So that's the beginning of using bowing lanes to help you become an amazing person who can express all of the dynamics, the really quiet ones and the really big, loud ones. Okay, so why did we learn about bowing lanes? It's so that when you see music that has different dynamic markings, that you will see um, you can use the bowing lanes to your advantage and make sure that everybody knows when you're playing quietly or when you're playing loudly. All right, so if I bring my cursor down here and I show you this symbol, the symbol P, it's Italian for piano, and piano is very quiet. And then here's another symbol that I'm going to outline here. It's the MP. MP. That's mezzo piano. And of course, the Italians speak with their hands, right? So, mezzo piano. And so, what we're going to do is play medium quiet, which is a little louder than quiet. If we go further in this same melody, you're going to see an MF, which stands for mezzo forte. And forte in Italian is strong. So there's a lot of strength and louder, right? You might imagine. And then that's mezzo forte is medium loud. And then just plain old F is forte, and that's pretty strong and loud. Let's play this melody. I bet you can memorize it in just a second. And we're going to I'm going to play on the violin. And we're going to play. Am I in the right bowing lane? Am I playing in the piano bowing lane? You bet I am. Have I tilted my stick away towards the scroll and just using a few of the hairs on the string? That gives me a really quieter sound. That was the first four measures at piano. I want to get a little louder. So I'm going to bring my bow a little bit closer, and I'm going to bring the bow stick a little bit higher above the hair so that it sounds a little stronger, just a little. Now I'm going to bring my bow for mezzo fortes kind of in the middle, middle between the edge of the fingerboard and the bridge. And I'm going to flatten my hair now. It's like all of the hair is going to be on the string. It'll be easy to sound mezzo forte, medium loud. And last but not least, I will scroll up a little bit further and see we're going to play forte. What am I going to do with my bow? You're right. I'm going to bring it closer to the bridge. Now, I don't turn the stick closer to me. I do not do that. I just keep all of the hair stuck straight to the string and keep it flat. So we're going to try stronger. Does it sound stronger? Now, give yourself a chance to play these four measures quietly, medium quiet, a little louder, medium strong or medium loud, mezzo forte, louder than that, and then forte, really strong. All right, try that out and make sure you're taking care of your bow and what bow lane you're in, and taking care of the tilt of the stick, so that sometimes you're using some of the hair and sometimes you're using all of the hair. And think, when do you want to use all of the hair and when do you want to use just a small part? All right. Cool. Now we're going to learn to do some special things with your bow. We're going to do some things that will make the beginnings and the ends of your notes sound different. First, let's talk about the détaché bow, which is your normal bowing that you probably started to learn. I'll go to the D string. Could you hear the beginning of each note? You could, I bet. All right, because I didn't try to hide it. I just changed the bow direction. Now, have you heard of the word staccato? Staccato is an Italian word. We play it short. We play staccato notes short, and you'll see dots above or below the note head that will tell us when you see those dots. That tells us to play short. So you're going to distinctly hear the beginning and the end of every bow stroke. We're going to hear the beginning and the end. We're going to stop like this. Start and the stop, right? Let's say we're playing quarter notes. Ta, 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 four détaché and four staccato. Do you hear the difference? Can you make that difference happen? I kind of describe it like pinching the string a little bit with a bow and then releasing, and then pinching it again to stop the sound. We start and stop the sound. All right. Try that for a little bit and see what you can do on any notes you want. Now here's a different thing that you can do with your bow. When you see the special signal called the accents, you can, or the special sign called accents, you can then make sure that you start the note a little bit stronger and then let the rest of the note just dissipate a little bit. So we're hearing the very beginning really loud, but we're not like staccato where we stop the note at the end of the staccato unless there's also a staccato dot. If there's no staccato dot, then we use accents. And it's like this, the accent just starts strong and then finishes normally. Really, really get ready to pinch the string with your bow hair. We go. So if we're going along and playing some notes, I'm going to play 3 notes D, and then I'm going to play the 4th note with an accent. So what did you just see? Yes, you too can do something on the up bow. The accent can also happen on the up bow. All right. Try that a little bit on any notes that you can see or that you can make up, and then we'll look into the music and see. I want you to look and see where the accents are in the music. You might want to circle them. Hi. Now we talk about the viola tricky part. I'm going to think as I look at it, I think it's from 7 to 8. 7 measure 7 through measure 8, and then measure 11 through measure 12. And then maybe we'll also talk about measure 15. First, let's look at measure 7. Here's something that's really good. As you start to use your fingers across the strings, I'd like you to think about leaving them down as much as possible and as long as possible so that you have a good frame of reference for keeping your fingers in tune. Go from the E down to the C. Tune that a little bit. Good, good. Let's do that again. E, C, A, C. See that again. And then we're going to go to measure 11. To the E and then the C above it. You may want to use the open A, but if you're better or you want to push yourself to be an even better viola player, you want to use the 4th finger as much as possible. So again, you'll see that my fingers stay down as long as possible. Right? Practice that for a second. And now, at measure 15, we have a chromatic descending scale on the 2nd beat of 15 going down to 16 by half steps. We'll use our 2nd finger for both the F sharp, and then we'll squeeze the 2nd finger down to the 1st finger for the F natural, and that will give us something that sounds like this. All right, try that again. 1, high 2, low 2. All right, and we try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. pause here and see if you can practice that for a little bit. If you have already practiced everything in all of those little spots that we talked about, measures 7 and 8, measures 11 and 12, and then 15 and 16, you might be ready for this. All right, let's hear it. Let's see if we do the whole thing from the very beginning. One, two, ready, go. Try that as often as you can to see if you can match the same rhythms and the same pitches. Hopefully, you'll enjoy playing the Anvil Chorus if we can get it all put together. Hi, let's start this at measure 15. And at 15, there's a tricky spot for the bass players. We go from the E up to the open G string, and then down a half step to the F sharp, a half step to the F, and a half step to the E. From the open G to the F sharp, to second finger F, to E. Right? Hey, let's try it really slowly, as if these notes at measure 15 were all half notes, so they were all 2 beats each. Let's do it again, that slow tempo. Ready, go. And it's a really good idea to practice and learn difficult things slowly first, and then speed it up. Now, practice for a little bit and come back and watch the rest of this spot so that we can play it twice as fast at regular tempo. I hope you've practiced enough, and let's try it at regular tempo at measure 15. 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. Does that sound, do you sound the same as this? I hope so. One more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Good job. Hi, today we're going to start at the very beginning of the Anvil Chorus now and play from the beginning through measure 17. By doing that, we're going to make sure that we can play from the high G down to the low G, the high G, open G, the low G, second finger on the E string. Make it sound just the same, just an octave lower. Make sure you also know how to play F natural to E if we do the counting and the slurring at the end of 12 going into 13. I'll count that for you. We're going to start with the A at the beginning of measure 12. 2, 3. Good. And we we've already learned how to play measure 15 because that's the trickiest part, and we spent a little time together on that. Now, why don't we try at the very beginning? 1, 2, ready, go.